As Warner Brothers continues to reimagine the Harry Potter film franchise into a streaming series for Max, speculation has consumed the fandom around just who will play lead roles and iconic characters from the classic novels. Now, it appears that at least one role has been decided, and it's someone no one had previously had on their fan cast lists. Let's talk about who will be the successor to Alan Rickman for the role of Severus Snape here on That Park Place.
You know who's not having a good weekend, though? The dum-dums who are running Harry Potter. Let's talk about this one out of Deadline. Harry Potter, Janet McTeer Janet McTeer in negotiations to play McGonagall. Paapa Essiedu, forgive me, I have no idea how to pronounce his name, near deal to play Snape in HBO series. Seems like they're kind of giving up on the idea of a greasy-haired, sallow-skinned Severus Snape there. This handsome fella right here doesn't quite match the appearance that we're expecting out of Severus Snape. I don't get it, but let's read. Exclusive, HBO is closing in on 2 more main cast members for its high-profile series adaptation of the hugely popular Harry Potter fantasy books. We've got this new Harry Potter land just about to open up. We're hearing that Universal is very excited about this series, by the way. Oscar and Emmy-nominated actress Janet McTeer is in negotiations to play Professor Minerva McGonagall, sources tell Deadline. Additionally, the Emmy nominee Paapa Essiedu, one of the first actors identified for the series, is closing his deal to portray Professor Severus Snape. I hear. Who is I? Well, let's look. It's Nellie Andriva. They are poised to join John Lithgow, who, as Deadline reported exclusively, will be playing Professor Albus Dumbledore. HBO declined to comment. We appreciate that such a high-profile series will draw a lot of rumor and speculation, the network said in a statement. As we make our way through pre-production, we will only confirm details as we finalize deals. That is really fascinating here. I'm thinking maybe we need to go look at what Deadline has reported in the past here. Vash, have you read the Harry Potter books? Is you looking forward to having a prominent secondary antagonist in Paapa Essiedu here?
I have not read the Harry Potter books. I must admit I am a muggle when it comes to these things, but I think the prior actor who played Severus Snape left some big shoes to fill there, that Alan Rickman. And,
yes.
I think a lot of people were maybe wondering, who is going to fill those shoes? I don't think anybody had this gentleman on their fan casting there, which, hey, maybe he blew away the casting directors and so forth and said, oh man, we got to have this guy. It's a quite distinct possibility right there. We'll have to see. But the casting choices have been very interesting. We just actually heard that John Lithgow was going to be playing Dumbledore in this series, which, it's a choice. And I guess it's the first non-British actor to actually embody a role for these films. So I don't know how much influence does J.K. Rowling have on any of this? I wonder.
Right, at least a main character, by the way, on John Lithgow. It was funny. A bunch of people were talking about. I saw a bunch of chatter about, well, John Lithgow, can he even do a British accent? I'm like, guys, John Lithgow is a goat as far as he's a goat. He is the goat as far as acting goes. He's fantastic, and he's got an incredible range. He's been in shows that I think he in episodes of The Crown. Either way, he's played Churchill. He's also played what's his name, Tom, on Third Rock from the Sun. And the dude has some amazing comedic chops on Third Rock from the Sun. He also was the villain in Santa Claus the movie.
I really, really like his performances. I actually forgot that he was in Interstellar. So when I saw the 10th anniversary of Interstellar in theaters, I was like, oh yeah, John's in this. And man, he was good. I was like, oh, this guy can act, Why? Where is he? Where's he been?
Yeah.
Now we can see
so him as Albus Dumbledore, I'm like, okay, sure. I'm wondering, I'm thinking J.K. Rowling is still heavily involved with this series. I've also heard that Alan Rickman was actually the linchpin on the casting of everyone else in this series, because Dumbledore, doesn't really matter how old he is; he just needs to appear as old in the series. But Alan Rickman, as Snape, placed all of the actors, they had to be a certain age, so that ended up aging up all of the professors at the school, because Harry Potter and his generation need to be 11-year-olds or appearing like 11-year-olds. Whereas Severus Snape, when you pinpoint Severus Snape, well, story wise, he needs to be the same age as the Potters, James and Lily Potter. So they ended up. I think he plays it a little bit younger than he actually was at the time. Obviously, put him in a lot of makeup, but that moves Minerva McGonagall a little bit. That moves Hagrid, who I'm thinking, I think Hagrid was supposed to be relatively the same age here. So if we're going with someone that is, let's start with the age, someone this age playing Snape, that ages down most of the cast to something a little bit closer to the original series. I'm gonna clearly state something here so no one misunderstands. It's not that Paapa Essiedu is black; it's that Severus Snape is white. That I have any issue with this. And also he looks to be a nice healthy person, which I've never. The potions master who teaches in the dungeon is supposed to look kind of pale. He's also supposed to be someone that Harry loathes for a majority of the series. There are some dynamics at play here that I'm a little worried about. Unless they make Harry Potter black, but then you've got an issue of dead parents, and that plays a little bit differently. You could just go through the entire cast here and you say, well, if you make this person a minority, well, here are your issues. If you make Hermione Granger and the things that are said about her during the series being like a mudblood, which is supposed to be like the look down upon people, okay, you've got a problem there. If you make Ron black, then you have an issue with the poorest family in the Harry Potter series being black, at least nuclear family. And I'm talking about the way that Hollywood perceives this stuff. So I don't know. Dumbledore being black, that would be, I think, a little bit more interesting to me. But making Severus Snape, who is, I mean, he actually kind of gets made to look like an idiot several times as well throughout the series. He's supposed to be the one that no one trusts because no one knows where his allegiances lie. He's not a cool character. Overall, he's perceived well because of the way the story goes. But I don't know. I think for the super racially conscious out there in Hollywood, this is going to present some problems that they may not be anticipating unless they really start noodling with the way that these stories are told.
Maybe that's on the way here. And I personally can't wait for Zendaya to be cast as Hermione Granger. I think that's gonna be really interesting here.
Yeah.
What up? That's a joke, Phil.
Well, they do have a bit of a ticking time bomb there with Hermione Granger, because there are a lot of people who have only watched the movies and have not read the books, or they read the books and ignored all the stuff about her having like buck teeth and she's supposed to be kind of an ugly duckling until in the fourth book with the Goblet of Fire, when they figure out that she actually cleans up real nice because of the Triwizard Ball. That's supposed to be a moment where, oh, look at her, she's so pretty, as opposed to casting a pretty little girl and then she just changes into a dress. It kind of robs that moment of its impact here. J.K. Rowling is also on the record as saying that if she had met Emma Watson, yeah, if she had met her before talking to her on the phone and confirming the casting, she probably wouldn't have allowed her to become Hermione, because she was a little too good looking. So it's funny. Too bad she went off the deep end there.
Yeah, that's something. I had heard, and at least with that casting in particular, that was like one of the toughest ones that they were trying to cast in this particular instance. And if I'm not mistaken, what was that executive's name? I can't remember. I can't recall. But used to work at Warner Brothers, famously moved over to Disney out of retirement for Bob Iger. and led a lot of the projects related to the live action films. I'll correct myself, I'm sure, in the future, but apparently he was very instrumental in not just casting her in Harry Potter, but also too casting her again for this Beauty and the Beast live action. So there you go.
Yeah, and that Beauty and the Beast live action did, in my opinion, it didn't do any favors for her acting career. She wanted to make sure and fix Belle so that she was more of a feminist. I'm like, you can't just have her be a feminist of the time. She has to be a feminist of our time. It ends up making people insufferable and takes things a little bit out of the era there. Going Shogi for 199. Quick, fire up the virtue signal. I hope this guy's a fantastic actor. And it turns out that, he's the only one we could have possibly gotten for the role. But yeah, I'm a little concerned about this one myself. Going Shogi for 499. There's a lot of people doing victory laps on the fan base over Snape. This will not be the daring move they convinced themselves to be. Yeah, I kind of agree. I see problems here. I think there are lots of other characters that you could probably put in that role. Hagrid. I don't want anybody race swapped. But I understand it happens. It's a Hollywood production. It's going to happen. But I think Hagrid is not a problem. I think Gilderoy Lockhart probably wouldn't be a problem. Quirrell, that's just in the first couple of books as well. Here, I think there are so many characters that you could race swap, and it wouldn't be as much of an issue. But a guy who is supposed to be sickly and rejected and is such an integral character, I just see them being a problem. Hey, Argentum with a good point. So Snape's alcoholic and abusive father would also have to be black. Ooh. That's a really good point.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.